My God, look at this thing. It's like a work of freaking art. It's beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful. No!
You're poor. You are.
Gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. I'm your host, the Talking Spiritus Chest Rig. Today we're going over a very fancy firearm made by the Kraut. The magical space Kraut technology is on display today. Today we're going over what was originally an HK 417A2, now a G27k. The K is important because it's short. Gentlemen, I know you're on the toilet, I know you're watching this, drinking your beer, eating your coffee, whatever that may be, but make sure you like and subscribe. Leave a comment in the comment section down below. Your comments are a sacrifice to the algorithm god, a god of which who enjoys Wiener Schnitzel, German beer, Oktoberfest, and well-made German firearms. So get down there, leave a comment, and make my day. Now, because he's a friend of the channel and he brought a G27k, Jordan, get over here. Yet again, what would you like to tell my audience?
Again, kids, just find a gun. Grand Thumb says, find a gun, train with it, but instead train it mag dumping into trash.
You heard the man. You have a job to do. Thank you, Jordan.
Yep, thank you.
Someone running and gunning this particular weapon was not cheap. So a big thank you to our sponsors of the channel. Big thank you to LAS Concealment. Having a gun on you in time of crisis is worth 10 guns in this safe. So make sure you're carrying a quality piece of Kydex in your pants. The HK 417 coming out in 2006 was the design of H&K, Heckler and Koch, I don't know, however you want to say it, right? H&K came out with this particular 7.62x51 platform. Now, they are no stranger to 7.62x51 guns. Very cool build by my buddy Jordan. The gun itself, listen, I can't speak to being an expert with the G27K, okay? I can't speak to running and gunning it for hours on end with thousands and thousands of rounds. This isn't what this video is about. It's not an in-depth review. This is gonna be more of a surface level video showing off the gun. There isn't a lot of other videos I've found so far of a particular 417 like this or a G27K in this configuration floating around YouTube. One being the barrier to entry for this gun is pretty high. I was asking my buddy, he said the base price is $7K for the base gun alone. That's pretty steep. Now, when you configure it out such as this with your Maul, your Surefire, your EOTech, the price point just goes up. Mags, I think, are around $100. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, but that's also a pricey platform. So what it's like to run the 417 like this, or the G27K, whatever you want to call it, I want you to take out your wallet, take out a wad of cash, light it on fire. It'll keep you warm for a little bit and make you feel good, but eventually it's gonna go out and you just burned a lot of money. I will say though, you do get a really cool gun for the money. This particular firearm absolutely is aesthetic, and that's one thing it has going for it very well. There's a few things I didn't like about it, so let's talk about that. Now, I want you guys to realize I put a $6 sling on like a $7,000 plus rifle. It's not about the money, it's about sending a message. So some things I don't like about the gun, the recoil impulse was a little goofy, I'll say that. It wasn't terrible, it's just something you would train to and get accustomed with. It's just how it kind of felt. It felt at times that recoil was a little bit jarring-ish, but not as bad as some other 7.62 guns. For the weight of the particular platform, this is what I'm kind of getting at, is like more than I thought it would be, not bad at all. I'm not saying like, oh no, the recoil was too bad. You get what I'm trying to say. Stock, very comfortable, didn't have any issues with that. I know HK had some fatter stocks back in the day. So you got sling attachments on the gun all over the place. I dig that. I'm not a big fan of this extended mag release right here, because if you have the gun slinged up on your person, this could have a tendency, if you're moving about, to hit your gear and then your mag's gonna drop out, right? It's very exposed, it's not well protected. So that's something that I'm not a big fan of, but I like the idea of criticizing this piece of art. I mean, the gun is a piece of art, and I like the idea of some engineers back at HK that poured their like heart and soul into this weapon just to have it picked apart by some dude in a Baklava on the internet, like thousands of miles away. It's the internet, right? I will say rail got hot very quick. I was running it without a glove, and then I was like, I gotta put this glove back on. It's cooking me too quick. The recoil was stout enough, that again, going back to the recoil, that it kept popping out the mod light button. I'm not sure if that was actually the recoil or maybe some hand placement helping with the recoil pushing it out. So I'll maybe have to go back and watch footage and I'll asterisk in what was really happening. But so far to my knowledge, I think the recoil was pushing out the mod light button wire to the Surefire. This is fake blood from a previous shoot, so don't panic. So I do like how Jordan set up his firearm. The key mod rail, I think, lightens it up a good bit. You have access to your light and lasers relatively easy. And of course, the tanned out attachments really do add to the overall aesthetic. Yet again, going back to that favorite word of administrative results. So overall, I'd rate the gun very fun to shoot. I did feel rather baller running around and gunning with it, shooting in unconventional positions. Has a little bit more recoil, of course, than 5.56, but it also is shooting a friggin' 7.62x51, a 30 cal round, right? So big ball and energy right there. I wouldn't hate it having even a larger magazine, maybe if it got up to 25 or maybe 30, but for now, these are just 20 round magazines. They're clear, see-through, so you can see how many rounds you have in the mag. I do like that aspect, so it's a quick, just visual, okay, hat, you know what you got going on. Still can't get over how actually beautiful the gun is. It really is freaking beautiful. Savio, how pretty is this gun?
It's gotta be my favorite.
It is beautiful, and it's a real treat being able to show this off to you guys here. We'll do a classic, we'll ghost the trigger, we'll check it out. So the safety selector, I will say, is very nice, very snappy. You have a good connection, you know when it's moved over. But going to the actual trigger itself, there's like no play, and then it's just, it breaks. No, like there's like no movement whatsoever. Oh, maybe just a little bit, maybe like less than a millimeter it feels like. But it's like once you get that squeeze, oh, it's a very nice pull. And we'll just do the reset real quick. Very short reset. The gun feels good. It feels good to shoot. You can push it pretty fast, and especially in this configuration, this is like a very battle rifle vibe. Now, the battle rifle configuration of this particular 417 or G27k, whatever you want to call it, it felt pretty good. Running and gunning it felt light, maneuverable. I was able to snap to the targets real quick, and I didn't get fatigued very fast. You typically find when running a like DMR or a 7.62 gun, I should say, a lot of guys set it up to be more like a designated marksman rifle. It's often a little bit rare that guys set up their 7.62x51 guns to be like that actual battle rifle. Now, I do have the FAL, the DSA FAL set up. It's long, it's a little unwieldy in CQB, but it's still fun to run. But it's definitely not this, right? This is some Kraut space magic, and I am all about it. It's hot out. I would be kind of torn if you're like, hey, do you want to run an AR for the rest of your life, or would you be running this for the rest of your life? I'd kind of want to run this. Like, this just feels like you got power, like you got the rod of God in your hand kind of thing. 7.62x51, larger calibers making a comeback. If you look at the new SIG Spear, right? Those larger calibers that the Army's picking up. And so with that further distance, and then guys just, I mean, I feel like now guys are just built bigger too, so you can carry more ammo. So I don't know what's in the water, I don't know what's going on, I don't know what conspiracy theory you guys may have as well, but it's really interesting to see a big comeback and maybe even a resurgence of larger calibers. And the G27k is definitely a fun example of that. Well, gentlemen, I think this about covers everything I wanted to talk about the G27k. Yet again, you know, this gun deserves someone that has a lot more time behind it, that can actually break stuff down for you. I'm just a big chimp on the flat range running around, so it was a real treat to be able to run this gun. Go out, do your own research, take everything I do and say with a grain of salt. I will say though, there is no denying this, and it is an absolute fact. Yet again, this gun is beautiful. You gotta trust me on that. As always, gentlemen, thanks for watching. Make sure you like, subscribe, leave a comment in the comment section down below. If you want to support the channel in any way, shape, or form, Patreon is an excellent way to support the channel, as well as merchandise. It really does help out with the costs of everything going on here. Stay easy, stay breezy. I'll catch you on the flip. Woo!